Spent 3 years in the dark, trying to learn my lesson, trying to count my blessings. I knew that I'd be scarred. And hi guys, my name's Iman and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Why am I so awkward? I don't even know how to greet people on the internet. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Iman. I'm just going to be talking about why I think boys are a liability. You know, boys, dating, standards, finances. So let's just get straight into it. Okay. So we're just going to start off. We're going to go a bit brutal for the start, but you need to learn to take yourself seriously. Once you start taking yourself more seriously, you start to treat yourself as if you're a commodity. Thanks. I made that up myself. But no, not much people, you know, can afford certain things. Therefore, they don't even try to kind of go there. They kind of stick to what they know. You need to start treating yourself as if you're like that. Give me 1 second. I'm going to sneeze. Once you treat yourself as a commodity, then you limit how much access people have to you. The access that people have to you should be sacred. No one should have access to you at all times. There are many forms and ways to do that. I can, you know, create a whole video about that if you'd like. Your standards protect you from low quality experience. I think that's a quote that's going around. High standards protect you from low quality experiences. And that's true at its core. Look, okay, so everyone says that they have standards, but they don't. Like the moment a pretty boy or someone, you know, ticks one box, it's just like far out. You're off in the stars. It's like you're in love. It's when you start taking yourself seriously and stop accepting, you know, low life DMs or low life comments from people. People need to meet you in person. People need to own up to what they say. They need to kind of come with a sort of caliber into how they're kind of approaching you. So yes, if you treat yourself like a commodity, only people who can afford you will therefore be confident and feel competent enough to have access to you. So they'll shoot their shot more. So the amount of times I've seen women, I'm not perfect, I've done this myself, tolerating just stupid behavior, just plain stupidity, like stupidity that cannot in any way be justified. Like my first boyfriend, for example, I was 19 years old and he was the sweetest boy, should I know, but there was just a lot wrong, like a lot, and I just tolerated it. Why? Because I was in love. I'd stayed longer. I was only with him for 6 months, should I know, so fortunately enough, I didn't waste my time too much. But if I'd stayed longer, how much time would I have wasted? How much of my self-esteem would have depleted? How much of my, you know, perception of self depleted because I betrayed my standards? At the end of the day, he was a liability. Point being though, you can be in situations where it's not serving you, yet you still stay, and that's what I'm talking about. You need to start seeing whether boys are liabilities or whether they're assets. That boy had liability written all over him. Just straight up liability. Not red flag, but in the nicest way possible, red flag. How do you kind of establish whether this person is a liability or asset? And this is where I'm here to tell you, that's all on your standards. You can't really be able to hold yourself to anything if you have nothing to hold yourself to. So I'm not going to tell you what your standards should be because everyone's different. But what I am going to tell you is develop a set of standards that are true to who you are, true to who you are innately. Not superficial like he has to be 6'4", tall, dark and handsome. Although there are, you know, pillars of that fall on that attraction scale and that play a role, develop standards that are true to who you are, non-negotiables. And that comes from how you're raised, how you see things, how you truly deserve to be treated. So in order to be able to see whether a boy is a liability or an asset, you need to develop these standards first. You need to really sit down with yourself and think, okay, what is a non-negotiable for me and what isn't? And then second of all, you know, own it. You need to stick by it. The moment one person does something, like they may tick every other single box in your life, but the moment they just they don't tick that one non-negotiable, you need to chuck them out the door. Just fucking get the fuck out. Because otherwise you're going to be in damage control. You're going to be in a corner crying. Right? Sorry, I'm just telling you the reality of it, sorry. You need to start seeing yourself that way. You need to start being really rigorous in the people that have access to you. You don't have to think of yourself, as this like immaculate being and you're superior and everyone has to be a certain way to be around you. But you really need to protect your energy because it's sacred. You need to protect who you decide to give your energy to. The amount of times that I've seen women completely give up their lives and become, a copy of the man that they're with, and still the man's not happy. So it's like, okay, you're going to change. You're going to tolerate all this stuff to be with him. And he doesn't even respect you anyway. So it's like you just lost. You lost twice. You lost yourself, for one. And then you just lost by being So develop a set of standards and be very vigorous in protecting them. A lot of people, they have standards. They talk all day. And they say, my standards are this and that. But the difference, I hear this a lot and I hear people talk about it too much. You need to embody your standard. But you can tell the difference between someone who talks about something and someone who literally manifests it in the physical realm. So because where you direct your energy is where things cultivate. So if I said that I'm into someone who's really driven, who's got his life together, who earns $1 million a month, I don't know. And I'm like with this guy who like works at this job and he doesn't want anything else and he is so unproductive with his life. What I'm saying just goes out the window. People look at me like I'm stupid. And that's what I'm trying to say to you. Develop standards and own up to it. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself up to those standards. Let those standards not only dictate who has access to you, but also the type of woman that you need to become. Use those standards interchangeably. So if I want someone, who's well articulated in their thoughts, I need to assure as how be well articulated in their thoughts, because how do I expect someone who's articulated in their thoughts to like me if I'm not of the same kind of stature or of the same sort? Develop standards, own up to them, and also hold yourself to it too. And women these days, sometimes they ask for too much without providing anything to offer. Facts. Straight facts. Become someone you actually like first and foremost. Once you learn to become someone you actually like, then you can trust your opinions more. Because your opinions aren't, dependent on how insecure you're feeling that day or how needy you're feeling that day. You're a lot more level-headed when you're at the top of your game, because when you're at the top of your game, you have more to lose. I had a boyfriend when I was 19 and he literally broke my heart. Obviously there's more to it, it's not entirely his fault, but point being, I died. I think a part of me literally died. I don't think I've seen her ever. I don't think I'll ever see her again. That experience warranted the outcome. 19, completely obsessed with a boy. I'm willing to do anything for a boy, meaning tolerating really stupid behaviour, reckless behaviour. But should I note, he was also young, so I don't hold it against him now. All of that kind of warranted my outcome. It's like going to the gym. If I go and work out for, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I start seeing results. If I engage, with a boy, I can be completely obsessed with him and we're both stupid and we're both young, and we both don't know who the hell we are, first and foremost, and then second of all, how to navigate a relationship or actually be able to identify what we want in a relationship. Of course we're going to be heartbroken. We don't know what the we're doing. So certain situations, provided they're not thought out well enough, that they're not kind of based on sound decision making, it's going to end up bad. Now I've developed a lot more maturity around situations like that. I'm able to kind of wean off a lot of bad experiences for myself. I don't even give them the time of day. Barely. I'll be friendly to you, don't get me wrong, I'm friendly to everyone, but if you're not my cup of tea, or if you don't fit my certain criteria, I'm just not going to even bother engaging with you. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to develop that sense of self. So I think if you're able to sit with yourself enough to understand who you are as a person, you're able to kind of deflect situations you know you wouldn't otherwise want to be. You're on a steady straight line to where you need to go, and you save triumph, you save grief, you save expectations not being met, because in a sense you haven't put yourself out there to be disappointed. You've let people be who they are, you've become completely detached to the outcome, and you've obviously just stayed in your own lane, and you've said to yourself, this is who I am. I'm not going to expect this person who's, you know, the complete opposite to me to be something of my sort when that's who they are. People quite often show you who they are. They show you who they are in their physical manifestation, in their behavioral manifestation, in the way that they handle situations, and in the seeds of their life. Cultivate the path that you're on. Be very rigorous in who you allow to have access to you. Start seeing boys as whether they're liabilities or assets. Will they improve your life? Will they add value to your life? Love, I used to believe in so much, and don't get me wrong, I'm not entirely skeptical, but I think love is a kind of minor factor in the grand scheme of what it means to be in love with a person. Nowadays, I don't hold people up to ridiculous expectations the way I did before. I don't expect to be saved by someone like I used to. I see people for what they are, and in turn I see people for where they're going, and whether where they're going is where I'm also going, if you know what I mean. If where they're going by nature and by default is not where I'm going, then I'm not going to try and go their way. It's senseless to me. And if you can try and develop that, like you've already got the key to what most people don't get in their... Oh, that stupid pimple. Anyways, like if you've liked what you've seen today and you want to see more content like this, I could talk about this all day. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below. I will reply to the comment most, if not all the time. And then I'll get back in front of a camera and I'll continue to talk shit more. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.